Good morning. It is August 27th, 2018. It's a Monday. Welcome to the second week of the semester here at NICC College Algebra Online for the fall 2018. Just want to say thank you to those of you who were able to get successfully logged into the course and start, working your way through the first couple of homework assignments. I think there are 17 total people in the class. 15 of you, it looked like, were able to successfully navigate your way over to the Pearson website and do homework assignments 1 and 2. And those of you that were able to get over there and get that done, it looks like everybody was performing at a fairly high level. I think everybody got all 3 points out of 3 points on the first 2 homeworks. And so basically what I did was the first assignment was 3 points. I think everybody got all 3 of those points. And then the second assignment was also worth 3 points. And I think most of you got at least 90%. There might have been a couple of you that were closer to 80 or 85. But basically what I do is I take your percentage and I figure out what that score would have been out of 3. And anything above a 2.5, I just round up to 3. And so that's kind of how I'll be scoring those as we go ahead. I think there's 2 of you who haven't successfully been able to get logged into Pearson yet and do the first week's worth of homework assignments. And so I will still allow you to complete those. You'll get a 10% late deduction, but as long as you don't make a habit of doing that, I think you should be in pretty good shape. If you're having trouble getting logged into the Pearson site, please contact me as soon as possible so that we can get you organized before we get too deep into the term. It looks like a couple of you that didn't participate in the Pearson side of the course were able to successfully get logged into the message board and talk in the discussion. So it sounds like you're at least halfway there. But I think, as I said in my opening video, the course is very much happening on the Pearson site. And so while I do want you to check Brightspace periodically, most of the work you're going to be doing in here, gang, is happening on the Pearson site. And so it's not going to be enough to just jump in early in the semester and then say hello on the discussion board. You're going to actually need to get your boots on the ground and do a little bit of work. So maybe what I'll do before, well, I guess I'll start by looking at kind of what's ahead for this week. And so this week, what I'd like you to take a look at is homework assignment 3. It covers the just-in-time review material from the opening chunk of your textbook, and it's sections 8 through 21. So it's a fairly lengthy assignment. It gets us through most of the just-in-time review material, which we'll finish next week before taking our first exam. I think this homework assignment is 44 problems, and it covers everything from factoring polynomials to solving quadratic equations, rationalizing denominators, all that kind of stuff. Based on your ability to get through the first 7 sections of the just-in-time review, I'm pretty confident that this is largely a review for most of you. And so I'm not going to provide much in the way of additional resources outside of what you have available in your textbook and what you can probably find on your own just through Googling around online. This week I will post some online video content, some of which will be coming straight from me, some of which I will go out and find online and share with you. And so if you see video from other instructors talking about some of the content that we'll be talking about in here, if it's not coming straight from my lips, that's okay. I'm not opposed to linking you up to other online and college algebra materials that might have been put together by other instructors. That's kind of one of the great things about an online class. So anyway, this week's homework, it's homework 3. It was made available this morning at 8 a.m., so just about 90 minutes ago. It's not due until Sunday evening at 11:59, so it's due September 2nd at 11:59 p.m. I don't have a time limit outside of the fact that you have to have it done by Sunday night. I don't have a time limit in terms of how long you can spend on the assignment. And so you're not timed. So if, you could spend 7 hours working on this thing if you wanted to, you could spend an hour working on it. It looked like we already had maybe one person try to work through it already this morning. They didn't do very well. And so if that person would like to reach out to me, we can get you set up to maybe give that another try. It looked like they had only spent about 20 minutes on it, and that'd be about 30 seconds a problem, which probably isn't going to be enough time to get that assignment done. So you got plenty of time to look at it. You got all week. You've got your textbook here. Don't forget that you do have a digital copy of the textbook built into the Pearson site, and so you should be able to open that book up here. It's probably going to be some kind of PDF document, and then you can navigate around in here and look at the material for the week. And so maybe give this a second to warm up. Looks like it's trying to connect. It's coming. Okay, so here's the textbook, and you can access the table of contents by clicking on these little bars over here. We're just in the just-in-time review yet, still this week, and we're looking at section 8, scientific notation, down through section 21. So it does look like a lot of stuff, and to be honest, it is. But again, it should all be very much review for you. If you were able to successfully get placed into college algebra, that means that you've taken at least intermediate algebra, and all of this material comes straight out of intermediate algebra or algebra 2 if high school was the last time you've taken some algebra. Anyway, this should all be very much review. I will post a couple of videos this week of me kind of explaining a couple of chunks out of this material that I guess would maybe be seen as maybe a little bit more challenging. And like I said, I'll give you some other video content as well. If you're not able to kind of review this material on your own through the book with ease, so like there'll be a couple of problems out of this section 15 dealing with factoring trinomials using the AC method. And so, if I were taking the class, I would, and maybe I wasn't up to speed on AC method, or it's been a while since I've done that, come to that section in the just-in-time review, read through that material, take note of this, material inside these beige boxes is usually somewhat important, and then they'll have a couple of examples over here how you set that up. So they walk you through how to factor this trinomial here using the AC method and factoring by grouping. So I would absolutely refamiliarize myself with this sort of material if it's something I haven't seen in a while, and the textbook's right there for you to do that. You could also go to YouTube. You've also got the entire internet out there at your disposal. Here they've even got some videos embedded in the textbook, it looks like, which is kind of nice. So I just clicked on a video, just-in-time review 16. Let's see what this does for us. This may play some audio, which you may be unable to hear. You should be able to hear it if you play it on your end, though. Here it comes. Oh, so I've got it. I got it here.
Plus b squared, or a squared minus 2ab plus b squared is a trinomial square.
So here's just a video example coming out of some of the material in the just-in-time review. Oop, shoot, I closed my book. Anyway, the book is there. I would encourage you to get refamiliarized with that. And like I said, I will post some video content this week. Some other stuff that you might find useful. Actually, let's not click on that. Let's come back to the main page here. The internet is chugging along pretty slowly this morning. Okay, I'm going to try that again. I had a little hiccup there on the video, it seemed like. Other thing that you should have a look at this week if you haven't already done so, the discussion board where you've been asked to introduce yourself and kind of explain who you are and where you're from. It looked like about half of you had gotten to that so far. And so if you come to the welcome and introductions under discussion, you can read what your classmates have written. So I've got this topic down here called hello. And you can see that Kai's already posted, and Victoria and Jackson, Jennifer, Victoria got another one up there. If you haven't already posted in here, please do that this week. I will start to put numbers in the gradebook just to remind you who's done that and who hasn't. The other thing that I'd asked you to do would be, I'm just going to click on Victoria's here. So what I'd like everybody to go in and do is change this photo here. You should be able to figure that out by changing settings in your profile. I've got 5 points in the gradebook just so that everybody can get that picture changed so that we know what you look like. So please go ahead and do that as well this week. And like I said, I'll start to put numbers in the gradebook for that. So introductory discussion, homework 3, and get your profile picture changed in the discussion board would be maybe your top priorities for this week. If you do need to go back and finish homework 1 and 2 from last week, I can open that back up for you. You'll need a password to get in, so please contact me for that if you're one of the people that hasn't gotten that taken care of yet. The last thing, if you click into content, again, this is where you can find the syllabus and the course guide. I also added, I think I did this after I posted my video earlier last week, I added some PowerPoint material for each of the sections in the just-in-time review, it looks like. So if we click on review, and we click on these slides should correspond to the material in the textbook. And you should be able to open them up right in here. And so here, for example, are the slides for R1, which is just-in-time review, section 1. And so if you open the PowerPoint slides up in Brightspace, you may miss some content. Like in here, there should be probably some little symbols. Looks like something's missing. And so if you actually download the PowerPoint slides, you can look at them that way too. You could actually make edits to the slides if you'd like. So if PowerPoint slides are something that you find useful, I've got those shared in here for anybody that would like to look at those. This is also, gang, where I'll put the video content. So sometime in the next couple of days, I will add a couple of links to video content that will be found in here too. So, and then just the last thing before I go, internet is really choppy this morning. Sorry about that. Here's the calendar. We're in week 2. We're just going to be looking at that just-in-time review, sections 8 through 21 this week. So you have all week to finish that. It's one assignment. It's going to be worth 6 points. And I think I've already got it added to the grade book. I'm not sure why this is opening. And then just pay attention that next week we will finish the just-in-time review material next week. And we'll have our first unit exam, which I'll make available probably sometime around Wednesday of next week. So you won't have the entire week to take that exam, but you'll have at least 3 or 4 days. All right, looks like my computer is really starting to head south, and so I am going to try to stop this now. If anybody has questions about anything this week, don't hesitate to reach out to me.